So when I think of self-care, it's sort of a self-explanatory phrase, but basically taking care of yourself, caring for you, which can look like lots of different things. What do you do to take care of yourself? So not something that others are doing for you. Yeah, so the way that I see self-care fitting into our mental health is that it's a component of our mental health. It's an important component, but it's not everything when it comes to our mental health. So it's just one piece. Um, you know, yeah, I just think it's a small piece of your mental health. It's an important thing, and I think it's easily overlooked by a lot of people. Some of the small things you can do. And I guess it's a good starting place. It's a good like building block for our mental health. So my tips for self-care would be to start with small things. So don't overwhelm yourself with the idea of, I need to have this elaborate ritual that I do every day or every evening, or adding in too many things at once. So keep the self-care things small, and try and make one change at a time. So like adopt one habit at a time. And some of those things might be just like focus on how much water you're drinking in a day and just start there, or buy a new like pampering skincare product and use that on Sunday nights before you start your work week. Other things could be, plan your meals out for the week and buy some foods that you feel like are going to be super nourishing and yummy, but also good for you. So I think, yeah, a lot of the times with self-care, people are like, well, I don't have the money to like go to a spa every weekend, every month, or get a massage once a week. And it can just be like a walk outside once a week. And you can build on these, but definitely start small so that you don't get overwhelmed. Because I think when we try to start too big, we get overwhelmed, we feel like we can't do it, and we kind of just give up and throw in the hat. And so the smaller, the better. So what I do for self-care, so I'm someone who really likes nature. I find like nature is very rejuvenating for me. I have a job where I'm working inside a lot of the time. So one thing I try to do is I try and get out for a walk every day at work that I can, even if it's just like 10 or 20 minutes. And I try not to bring my cell phone with me. So I'll usually just listen to music or just go by myself. And I have an old iPod that I use so that I'm not connected to my cell phone. So getting outside. Another self-care thing that I do, I would say, would be just like cooking a really nice meal, maybe like on the weekend. And I love cooking. Cooking is like a rejuvenating thing for me. This might not be true for everyone. But so because I love cooking, I'll try to do like some meal prep on the weekend so that during the week when I'm busier, like I have a healthy thing to grab out of the fridge. And I don't feel like I'm eating junk, or I'm like spending all this money, picking up takeout meals somewhere, or like things that are already prepared that are more expensive. And another small thing that I do is just like a cheap face mask when I feel like having a relaxed night in. I put a face mask on, put on a movie I want to watch, put my feet up, and that's self-care for me. I mean, I hear a lot from either my patients or my friends or my family members, that they don't have time for self-care because they have all these other things they need to do, or they feel selfish to kind of take that time, or they feel so overwhelmed that they just can't even really think about like what it would look like to practice some self-care. So I think it's just really important to kind of combat that feeling that taking care of yourself is selfish. It's not. And I always just go back to, you can't, like, you have to put your oxygen mask on first. Um, and if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to help other people. So that's how I look at self-care. And you do, I mean, you do have to make the effort to make the time for it. But it's important. And again, if you don't make that time, you're going to get to this really burnt out stage of life, whether it's in personal life or work or both, where you just can't function. So actually making that time benefits you.